Hello everybody, SCP Slayer here, and welcome to a new series that I want to start on the channel that I'm going to call Wiki Reader. That's the only name I can think of. If you guys have a better suggestion, please suggest it, because honestly, I don't know what to call this series. Basically, I'm going to be going through wikis like the SCP Foundation, the Backrooms, because frankly, this is basically SCP Foundation, but more focused on one specific thing. And of course, the Creepypasta Wiki. Basically, it's gonna be me reading articles. If you guys suggest an article, I'll read it. But yeah, I figured the first episode would be on, well, the newest of the wikis, the Backrooms. So basically, reverse order. Next episode will probably be the SCP Wiki. For those who don't know it. Anyway. This is an introductory bit. These first things on the wikis are going to be more introductory. Anyway. So, what the Backrooms is, which I should probably go to level 0 for. The Backrooms is this. This is level 0. This is the image that started the Backrooms. This is an entire, like, fandom and everything. And here's the excerpt that started all of this craziness that is this wiki. So I guess I'll read this real quick. If you are not careful, and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of moist carpet and madness of mono yellow. The endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz. And approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. That is the excerpt, and that is the image that started this entire thing. So, we're gonna take a read of level 0 real quick. So first off, everything past this first excerpt in this image, this is basically all new information. This has been revised and redone for a while now. So, level 0, survival difficulty class 1, which, as far as I've seen, is the lowest class. Besides, I think class 0. I think there is a class 0. I'm not sure. But it is safe, secure, minimum entity count. You see, this is where it has parallels with the SCP Foundation. Just this bit alone is straight up like SCP Foundation type thing. Level 0 is the first level of the Backrooms, and is most likely the first level you will encounter here. Description. Level 0 is a collection of randomly segmented rooms, hallways, and flights of stairs, with a mostly consistent mono-yellow wallpaper. The carpet is damp and moist, and the ceiling is decorated with office lights. Some walls have electrical outlets, have mold growing on them, or have security cameras. Which, I'm surprised there's nothing on security cameras. But you can also rarely find groups of blood red instead of mono yellow, as well as hallways that are pitch black, while generally a safer level, I don't know why I said all, with rare sightings of entities, is extremely isolated and will drastically lower your sanity. Why did I have such a hard time saying drastically? Keep a bottle of almond water on you. It is essentially estimated the lobby is over 600 million square miles, so stay vigilant and keep walking until you find a colony or outpost. Okay, I'm gonna go back and look at these after I've read this colonies and outposts section down here and the entrance and exit section, just so I can just go back. So colonies and outposts. This is actually the newer thing that was just added when this wiki was fucking made. This story is actually older than the wiki, but you know, it's just recently getting a wiki. Okay, colonies and outposts. Meg, aka the Major Explorer Group, Base Alpha. This is the first main base of the Meg. This is where half of the group's teams live. Close to one of the entrances of level 1. Communicates with the BNTG here. This base is heavily guarded. Tom's Diner. Resides Tom, as the name suggests. Was a chef before no clipping into the backrooms. Has food supplies that get replenished by the BNTG every few months. Tom is a careful and optimistic person. Or cheerful and optimistic. Why did I say careful? I don't know why I'm misreading these. Camp Amber has around 50 citizens. Close to level 1's entrance to the hub. Has a small defense force. Friendly and open to trade with new citizens. Entrances and exits. As level 0 is likely the first you will encounter in the back rooms, accessing it from the front rooms is the same as entering the back rooms for the first time. No clipping out of the bounds of reality is considered the most effective way of accessing the back rooms. See the basics of the backrooms guide for more information. Many other levels can take you back to level 0. Exits. Be aware exiting through an unknown entry point could lead to even worse places in the backrooms. After many days of walking, you can find a staircase or fire exit that will lead into level 1. You can also break through the floor to go to level 27. Breaking one of the lights results in a small chance a tunnel will appear, transporting you to level -12. If you wander long enough, you can get to the Manila room. Okay. Now that we've read that, let's go back to these things that establish little bits of lore. First off. Let's start with almond water, since that's a really important thing. Okay. Almond water. Object 1, almond water, rather. Yeah, they also classify objects. And entities. And a lot of other things. There's a lot of classification in this. A typical bottle of almond water, they come in many different bottles. This one was discovered in level 5. Oh, so that's what that image is. Alright. Almond water is the main source of hydration and sanity and upkeep in the backrooms. Description. Almond water is a substance found in levels across the backrooms. It is a critical source of hydration and slight nutritional value. It is a sweet almond vanilla flavored water that can be found in bottles of several different types, typically without a brand or label on them. Almond water can be found in clear water bottles, metal water bottles, glass wine bottles, and even cartons. It can be traded with, and can be used to repel entities and to cure some ailments. Identifying almond water. In the backrooms can house several liquids. Many of them are not safe to drink or even touch. If you are unsure if a liquid is safe to drink, don't drink it and wait until you come across almond water. Almond water has a distinct albeit faint smell of vanilla and rose water. It has a subtle taste of sweet, watery almond butter. If it does not exhibit these qualities, it isn't it isn't clearly fresh water. Avoid it. Blech. I don't know why I couldn't pronounce that. On some levels, almond water can flow out of pipes or even fountains. However, this is rare. Make sure you properly identify any liquid before consuming it. Other uses for almond water. For whatever reason, almond water can sometimes treat ailments, including neutralizing the effects of hostile entities. It also can help maintain one's sanity. Some examples of uses of almond water include helping with the symptoms of the disease, stopping someone from becoming an insanity, and possibly saving someone affected by the splat, though this is unconfirmed. It can also be used to maintain your sanity, especially when facing entities like the Watchers, and possibly preventing an encounter with the Beast of level 5. Lastly, almond water can be used to tame some entities, including death moths and Jerry. Those two are just really weird creatures. Specifically Jerry. Why do you exist, Jerry? The best way to obtain almond water is on level 4, where it is abundant. Here it can be found in water coolers, vending machines, water fountains. Almond water can also be found on numerous other levels, including level 10, level 28, level 11, level 18, and level 29. It can also be obtained through trading, such as in level 6.5. Otherwise, almond water can be found in many, many levels in the back rooms. The easiest way to tell if it's almond water, tell almond water is nearby, is if people are nearby. Sounds legit. So yeah, almond water is basically a liquid that just helps you stay alive. This is an essential for the back rooms. But we're not going to go through its little things. We're going to go through, well, first off, sanity, because I actually haven't read this article. Oh, geez. Sanity is the ability to maintain rational behavior. Why did I have and thinking, to remain in a rational state of mind and see rational things, as well-known effects of being in the back rooms and being exposed to some of the entities within it is loss of sanity. Symptoms of a drastic loss of one's mind include, but are not limited to, hallucinations, mood swings, irrational thinking, thought loops, violent tendencies, extreme irritability and paranoia, change in eating and drinking habits, and overall recklessness. If one is to survive for any prolonged periods of time in the backrooms, they are to remain calm, collected, and well-fed. Losing your sanity in a place like this will turn you into an insanity, which I will show you guys in a second once I'm done with this article, because those guys are really weird. Though the situation may seem bleak, it does not have to be the end. Considering how important remaining sane is, there are of course several ways to maintain your precious sanity, such as remembering, reliving memories of your favorite birthday spent with your best friend and mother can stave off paranoia and increase morale. Doing it too much can lead to depression and feeling of longing, so it should be done sparingly to avoid potentially harmful effects in the long run. While sometimes as normal as your name may seem, easy to skate over, forgetting who you are can be horrible for the mind. Work into a routine of stating your name, your birthday, and what you like to do in your free time. Remembering the life you came from can stave off paranoia and other ill effects of loss of sanity. Alright, that sounds interesting. Keeping track of time. The vast hallways of the backrooms can easily lead someone to lose track of time. Knowing how long you've been somewhere, as well as having some degree of control over a situation, can mean life or death if your brain is betraying itself. Make a routine of time checks as you wander, but try not to watch the seconds tick by. That counteracts itself, because normally when you're setting up a routine to check the time, you watch the seconds tick by. That was a loud noise behind me. Eating and drinking. A full stomach and wet whistle improves mood, lessening the wear and tear being in the backrooms has on a person's psyche. Drinking enough almond water and eating a good ration of meat or other snacks you may have brought with you can improve mood and provide the body with much needed nutrients. Essential is continuing to your wander. Essential to continuing your wander. Not observing entities. While some entities are not inherently bad for the brain, many beings may be seen as scary or to some. Remaining calm in the face of entities may not only lead to your swift escape, but may preserve your sanity as well. If you can avoid looking at them, do so. As detailed in many entries of entities, calmly walking away from them is your best plan of action in most cases. Remaining sane ultimately differs from person to person. Some can go for weeks without even flinching, others break down in seconds. If you are to find yourself in the back rooms, remain calm and accept your fate. This is not the end. So that's a breakdown of sanity in the back room. And here's why you should probably keep it. The insanities. This guy right here. Hello, insanity. Entity number 15. Insanities. Habitat majority, which means it can be found in basically all levels. So yeah, this is where it really starts to take a turn into like SCP territory, because holy shit, this gets interesting. These creatures are zombie-like humans that went insane in the backrooms. Only one picture was taken when they were terminated. They are usually found in the lower levels and are pretty common. This usually starts when a human goes insane in the backrooms. After a while, they will start to attack people, and they will start to act like a skin taker or skin stealer. Ugh. Their skin will become more reddish, and they will develop holes in their body and develop a large smile over time. So essentially, they're creepy as hell. Behaviors. These entities were once human before, so some might not attack. If they proceed to attack, some will have weapons or items, but most are very slow. But still be careful, as the more insane they are, the more speed they will have. They usually make a low grunt and moans, but some will make high-pitched grunts and maniacal laughs that are very loud. You can take this sound info and listen to see if they are dangerous or not. Rarely you can save one or yourself with almond water before they turn into this state. But if all of their body fluids have developed into almond water before your intervention, which at that point they cannot be cured. The Meg is researching more about this entity's behavior at the moment, as it seems to change quite often. There is rumors of a friendly, full insanity that still has human sentience, although this is unknown. I don't remember reading this part about a friendly, full insanity. That is interesting. Biology. These entities have around 4 stages of development called insanitation. I think I read that right. The first is just an insane person. Some might be dangerous, but is easily savable with almond water. The second, when their skin starts to become reddish brown tone of color, the wanderer seems to be more confused than average, and almond water is still helpful at this stage. The third stage is when they start to develop holes in their body. At this point, it is possible that their bodily fluids become almond water or not. That is when it varies if almond water works as a cure or not. The fourth and final stage is when the insanity takes full effect, and they develop a large, open smile, mostly without teeth, and they develop large eyes and move all around non-stop. This is the point where almond water no longer works to cure the entity. Discovery. The insanity was first discovered when a group on level 2, known as the Survivors, were getting their base attacked by this entity. Shortly after, a wanderer known as Austin had terminated the entity. Soon after, you may find the whole event log here. Meg, the discovery of the insanity. Or MEG, rather. I keep calling it Meg, it's MEG. It just sounds faster to just call him Meg, I don't know why. Anyway, do's and don'ts. Do. Try to save one with almond water before the final stage. Always drink your almond water if you start to feel a loss of sanity. Listen to the pitch of their voice to determine the difficulty of the entity. Don't try to save one when the entity gotten to the final stage. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be has in the middle of that. This is still a new wiki, so some of the English occasionally has errors. Don't lose or ignore your almond water for your own safety. So yeah, that's the reason why you should probably stay sane. That sounds like a good idea. Anyway, one sec. Yeah, I got time for one more, if it's a small one. So let's go with electrical outlets. They're not very big. Okay, Object 5, electrical outlets. Electrical outlets, sometimes referred to as false outlets, are defective outlets within the backrooms. Electrical outlets in the back rooms are unlike normal outlets. Some outside, outside. Why did I say sometimes? Outside of the back rooms, when plugged into phones, a variety of things can happen. Certain events may have higher chance of happening than others. List of each recorded event and the chance of it happening when plugged into a phone. Charging the phone normally, likely. Lowering the phone's power, somewhat likely. Frying the charger, unlikely. Frying the phone, highly unlikely. Highly increasing phone's performance and charge speed, unlikely. So basically, rare as hell. Sometimes during charging of the phone, it will send text messages to contacts within the user's contact list. This could vary from random gibberish to one-sentence texts that are usually barely comprehensible. It is unknown who or why this happens. One of the most common texts the outlets send is the phrase, "saw your face but not the head," which could either be a reference to smilers or a currently undiscovered entity. This phrase is usually randomly capitalized and seems to end with any kind of punctuation. Most electrical sockets in the back rooms are believed to be Type C and compatible variations of Type C. This type is most common in level 0. Another plug type discovered in the back rooms is Type F. A plug type common in Southern Europe and Russia. So yeah, there's just literally electrical outlets strewn about the back rooms. Those are probably some of the most boring articles, but they're a good introduction to how random this entire thing is. I mean, we also have the military, which is the major explorer group. They're literally military. And yeah, that's essentially a breakdown of things that are on level 0. There are so many things, like, Jesus Christ. There are already a lot of levels. Like, if I go to levels, real quick, before I end this video, there's, like, the main 9. There's the secret levels, and then there's these, which in cluster 1 alone, there's a lot. Submarines strewn about in the bottom levels. So yeah, those are a thing. Those are definitely a thing. So yeah, as you can see, there's like, this is basically an SCP Foundation thing. It even has joke levels, which are like joke SCPs. Except for this one has more of a canon and less of like a multiverse. So essentially, all of these could fit in the same canon, which is cool. Like, every SCP could definitely fit. Sorry, had to yawn. Every SCP could definitely fit in the same universe, but this is made to fit in the same universe. Just custom made to fit. Because of how random the backrooms are. Could be anything. Now, anyway, guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. We'll go over more of the levels and entities and stuff in later episodes. But, yeah, guys, if you guys have a suggestion on what you want me to read, ask in the comments. I'm completely fine with it. And phone went off. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Yell and drill. Peace.